Shalom. Our Torah portion this week is Tzav. Let's take a look at it. We're going to read from chapter 6, verse 5 of the book of Leviticus. Ha'esh al mizbech tukad bo, lo tichbeh uvi'er alecha hakohen eitzim baboker va'arach alecha ha'olah v'hiktir alecha chevlei hashlamim. Eish tamid tukad al hamizbech lo tichbeh. The fire on the altar shall be kept burning, not to go out. Every morning the priest shall feed wood to it, lay out the burnt offering on it, and turn into smoke the fat parts of the offering of well-being. A perpetual fire shall be kept burning on the altar, not to go out. The passage I just read speaks about the shlamim offering, which is translated as the well-being offering. Now, the word shlamim shares its root with the word shalom, meaning peace. Another grammatical form of this root can mean complete or whole. Our ancestors, like people of every generation, desired to feel a sense of wholeness, a sense of oneness and peace with God. We moderns, who feel ambivalent toward the whole subject of animal sacrifice, a subject that is covered in intimate detail in the book of Leviticus, wonder if God really commanded the Israelites to offer up their precious livestock as a way of worshiping God. Maimonides, as well as other commentators, suggest that God allowed but did not require the ancient Israelites to engage in animal sacrifice. It was a concession to the Israelites, who were embarking on a radically different spiritual journey than their Gentile neighbors. The Israelites had to accept that there was only one God. Up till then, they had worshipped many gods. They had to accept that there was one God, one unifying principle in the universe, a God for whom there could be no physical or material representation, a God who would be intimately concerned with the way human beings interacted with each other. To have asked the Israelites to accept all of these radical concepts and also to give up the universal practice of animal sacrifices, something that all peoples did at the time, would just have been too much for them. However, the sacrifice of animals was certainly not at the core of God's message. That fire that was never to go out on the mizbeach, that is, the altar, was to be understood not merely as a method to offer up sacrifice, not just as the way to consume sacrifices to reduce them to smoke. It was to be understood as that burning desire that we should keep in our hearts, on the altars in our hearts, a desire to serve God through the way we live. I think this week's Haftorah portion from the book of Jeremiah illustrates this point very clearly. Let's take a look at it. At the beginning of the Haftorah, we read, "But when I brought your ancestors out of the land of Egypt, I neither spoke to them nor commanded them about burnt offerings or sacrifices. But this is the command I gave them. Listen to me, and I will be your God, and you shall be my people. Walk only in the way that I have commanded you, and it shall go well with you." Toward the end of the Haftorah, we read, "Thus says the Eternal One, let not the wise glory in their wisdom, nor let the mighty glory in their might. Let not the rich glory in their riches, but let them who glory, glory in this, that they understand and know me, that I, the Eternal, practice kindness, justice, and the word is tzedakah, righteousness, or also to be understood as charity in the earth. For in these things do I delight, says the Eternal One. So what is the way that we serve God? What is it that we should have this burning desire to do? Very clearly stated here in Jeremiah. That is to live our lives with kindness, to seek justice, and to practice tzedakah, that is charity. Well, I hope that you will read this week's Torah portion and come to your own conclusions. Shabbat Shalom.